friend. Welcome to your 20-minute practice on focusing more of our attention today on our hips. So we are going to start on our backs on our mats. So wherever you are, let's get started. Have the soles of your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees drape towards one another. Lay back, shoulders in, maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. If that doesn't feel good. Hands down by your sides, palms up, close your eyes. And just start to focus in on your breath. As you inhale, allow your belly to rise. Allow your belly to fill up and expand. As you exhale, allow your belly to empty, to contract toward the back of your spine. Set an intention for your practice. And let's start to heel toe our feet back in so they're about hip-width distance in parallel. Draw your right knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers somewhere around your chin. And then draw your shoulders, back in. See if your right knee can go towards your right armpit. Our left foot is going to stay grounded. We're going to gradually open up through our hips. You don't just want to throw yourself into a big hip opener. Knee towards you a little bit more. Breath is full. This is also really good for your digestive system. Beautiful. Take a couple more breaths. Slowly open your left knee over towards the left. Draw your right knee in a little bit more. So now you're getting in through your left hip flexor. And if you're super tight, slide a pillow underneath your left thigh. That'll help you a little bit here. Your body won't let go unless it feels safe enough to do so. Unless you have a block, you could put a block underneath your thigh as well. Keep drawing your right knee in as you open and breathe through your left hip flexor. Start to slide if you're comfortable. Slide your left leg long against your mat. Let it rest. Start to flex both of your feet. Keep drawing your right knee in. We're going to take about 3 breaths here. Keep your right hand on your leg, so you keep drawing it in. Left hand is on your left hip. I want you to imagine that there's a piece of Velcro on the back of your left glute, so your glute won't leave the ground. Big breath in. Exhale, slowly start to open your right knee. You might be here, you might be all the way open, but you can't have your left glute leave the earth. So that's why I kind of give you that option of hand on top of your hip. It's a little reminder for your hip not to leave the ground. Okay. Breath is full here. You're going to start to breathe into the space of your right hip. A little bit more open here, so it's a little more intense, I guess, if your hips are sore. Nice long deep breaths. Keep your feet flexed. Nice long out breaths. Your hand might slide more up towards your knee. That's okay too. As soon as you feel like your left glute comes up a little bit, back off the stretch a little. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Switch out your hands. So now your left hand is on the outside of your right knee. Draw it in. Take your right arm out beside you. Big breath in. Exhale and stack your hips as much as they feel comfortable. You might get a little spinal adjustment here. Both glutes are okay to leave the ground. And you don't have to go as far as me. You can go about here too if that feels better for you. Maybe you start to take your gaze over your right shoulder. Breathing deeply here because you are in a spinal twist, but also this beautiful internal organ twist. So really good for detoxing here. Inhale, come back to center. Draw your right knee back into your chest. Notice if it feels different. Exhale, plant the sole of your right foot into the ground. Draw your left knee in. We're going to take all of this to the other side. So left knee comes in. We're going to pause here, shoulders in. Just keep your right foot keep it grounded into your mat. Apparently I'm tongue-tied this morning. Knee goes in towards your shoulder. Easing into our bodies here. Start to send your right knee to the right. So you're opening up through your right hip flexor. Keep drawing your left knee in. Just have to shuffle mine over a little bit here. Notice if this side feels a little bit difficult. And then extend your exhales. That's all you can do is just breathe a little deeper. Sliding your right leg along your mat. Keep it grounded. Flex your feet. Draw your left knee a little bit more towards you. Shoulders in if you've lost them here. Right hand into the hip. Slowly, as you exhale, open your left knee. Remember your right glute is sticky glued to the ground or Velcroed, whatever you want to call it. So if you get to here and your hip comes up, you know you've gone too far. So you're going to back off your stretch a little bit, keeping your right side connected to the earth. Feet are still flexed here, breathing into the space of your left hip. Nice long, deep breaths. Nice long out breaths. Inhale nice and slow, come back to center, switch out your hands. Right hand on the outside of your left knee, around that area. Left arm out into your T or your stop sign. Big breath in, and exhale, stack your hips as much as they feel comfortable for you. Maybe getting another adjustment in your low back. I always joke saying that's an extra $5. So, hey up there, buddy. I'm just kidding. And then gaze over your left shoulder if it feels good for you. But again, you're breathing deeply because you are in this deep spinal twist and internal organ twist. Inhale nice and slow, come back to center, draw your left knee back to your chest, and then have both knees into your chest. Rocking side to side here, planting your feet back down into the ground, And just start to windshield wiper your legs here side to side, releasing any extra tension through your hips, your pelvis, your spine. When you've had enough, we are going to come all the way up. My dog didn't agree with that. She just did a little rumble. Okay, come all the way up. She's like, no, I just want to rest all day. Okay. Okay, so ideally here, you're going to have blocks. If you don't have blocks, it's okay too. Come up onto your knees, just like I am here, because this is probably the easiest way if hips are feeling tight to just step into it. We're going to lunge our right leg forward. Good. So you send your right hip back. Let your left hip come forward. Back of your toes are untucked here. Hands come down to frame your right foot. Sending your right hip back. Let your left hip come forward. Take a nice long breath in, find length. As you exhale, start to walk your hands to the back of your mat, flexing your toes to your nose. See if your pinky toe can go up towards the sky, but you're not going to hunch forward. This is where your blocks might come in handy, or if you have, shampoo and conditioner bottle, if you're traveling, if you've got canned goods even, or water bottles, good. Inhale nice and slow, walk your hands forward, bend into your right knee, right hip back here still. Exhale it back. Flex your toes. Inhaling, coming forward, bending into your right knee, so lubricating your femur into your hip socket. Exhaling it all the way back. Really good for your hamstrings too if you're feeling tight. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. Let's do that once more. Inhaling forward here. Exhale back to stay. You're going to flex your toes to your nose. Keep drawing your right hip back so your left hip flexor comes forward. Pinky toe up towards the sky. A couple of options. You can hang out here. Maybe right hand reaches for your toes. Or maybe you bring a little bit more balance here into your life by taking your hands to your heart center. Keep your toes flexed as you draw your right hip back. Breathe it out. This should feel a little bit intense, but no pain. Lengthening here for a few more rounds of breath. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, bring them all the way down. Bend into your right knee. Curl your left toes under. Let's lift our left leg and tap down your left heel. Inhale, come up. I know my head's cut off a little bit of a warrior two here. Nice low right forearm, right thigh as you reach and extend your left arm over your ear. Can you wrap your right side body under? So your left side points up to the sky. Left leg should be doing most of the work here. Inhaling back to center and exhale, reverse it. Left forearm on the back of your left thigh, hand on the back of your left thigh. I like to slide mine across my back body. Good. Inhale back to center. Straighten out your front leg, hands to your hips, point your toes to the middle of your mat. Big breath in. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips halfway. Big breath in. Exhale, fingertips come all the way down. Forward fold here. Nice wide-legged forward fold. And you can play around with the placement of your legs if you want to widen your stance a little. Sometimes I rock forward into my heels and I come forward into my tippy toes. You might be able to come down onto your forearms. Kind of doing whatever feels best for your body here. 3 more breaths wherever you've landed. Slowly come back up onto your hands. Walk your hands to the back of your mat. Point your left toes forward, right toes forward, and bring your right knee down. Untuck your toes. Send your left hip back so your right hip comes forward. Take a big breath in. Exhale, walk your hands to the back of your mat, flexing your toes to your nose. Keep drawing your left hip back, right hip forward. Good. Inhaling, walking your hands forward, bending into your knee. Exhaling it back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling it back. And inhaling, coming forward. And exhaling back. Inhaling forward, last time here. Exhale back to stay. Flexing your toes to your nose, draw your left hip back so your right hip comes forward. Maybe you reach for your toes, or maybe you come up here with me, getting a little bit of balance. So don't try to send your right hip back. You want your left hip to come back. So you think about squaring your hips off to the center of your mat. And a little tricky to balance here. Draw your belly in. Let your shoulders melt. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Walk your hands forward, bending into your left knee. Curl your right toes under, lift your right leg, and tap down your right heel. Inhale, windmill your arms up, warrior two here. A little bit of a hip crack. Left forearm, left thigh as you reach your right arm over your ear and stretch. Wrap your left side under, let your right side. Inhale back to center and exhale to reverse it. Sorry, my head's cut off. Oh, good. Inhaling back to center. Straighten out your front leg. Hands on your hips. Point your toes inward. Big breath in, find length. Exhale, here I am. No, I didn't lose my head there. Exhale, forward fold. Heel toe your feet back in. Keep heel toeing in your forward fold. Heel toe till they're just outside of your hips. Toes pointed outward. Start to bend your knees. And, oh, that was my hips. Cop your squat here in your malasana. Pressing your elbows into your knees. And your knees into your elbows. Find length through your sternum. This is your sternum. Really good for opening through both your hips. If you want to get into your shoulders a little, take your hands down. Inhale, press your left elbow into your knee as you reach your right arm up. Exhale, right arm comes down. Right elbow presses into your right knee. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, release. Good. Let's do that once more each way. Inhaling, right arm up. Exhale, release. Inhaling, left. Exhale, release. Good. Have a seat. Oh. Hands behind your bum. Gently send your legs side to side. Let go of any of that tension. We're going to come back onto our backs. Let's play around with the placement of our feet. You can have them halfway in the mat, or you can have them as wide as your mat. Take your arms out beside you into a T or a stop sign, or you can kind of have your hands interlaced underneath your neck. Big breath in. Exhale your knees to the right. Maybe you gaze over your left shoulder. Maybe you flex your right foot and place it just above your left knee. But if that doesn't feel good, release it. Deep belly breathing here. Inhale nice and slow, come back to center. Exhale your legs. Maybe you gaze over your right shoulder. Maybe you flex your left foot and place it just above your right knee. Whatever feels good. goal is to feel good. Inhale nice and slow, come back to center. Exhale, hug your knees to your chest. Start to reach for the outer edges of your feet, sending your legs up to the sky. Coming into Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Pressing your hands into your feet into your hands. Send your tailbone down to the ground, and you can rock your side to side if it feels okay. If you want more of the internal groin stretch, bring your hands to the insides, and then bring your legs closer towards you. Oh, that's super intense though. So decide what feels good. Bring your knees back to your chest. And then find your Shavasana here. Bending your legs along your mat. Shoulders in. Hands down by your sides, palms up. Just notice your body from where you began to where you are now. Simply checking in with how you're feeling. Sometimes when we focus on our hips, different kinds of emotions can surface. So whatever it is that you're experiencing in this moment, know that it's okay. Let it surface. And just simply breathe. Deepen your breath here. Feeling toes and stretch. Bring your knees to your chest. Roll to your favorite side, pausing for a couple of breaths. Whenever you're ready, come up into your seated position. Holding your hands together into heart center. May you find light wherever you are today, whatever you're doing, and ease. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.